87% of editing is doing this, and that's a conservative estimate.
Talking about trim tools.
Today, we're going to talk about trim tools, 2 in specific. I want to show you guys the difference between all the trim tools because I'm noticing you are just using this one trim tool. You see within my little orange circle, I've got this one trim tool. It's got one arrow to the side and it points at the clip that you're going to modify. So if we're going to modify this clip, the arrow's pointing in at that clip. You notice it's on that edge and I can move it only until I hit this clip right here. Now my modifier key is pointing in. So that means it's going to affect this clip. And then I can move this clip like that. I cannot move this clip past the orange clip. Boom, just bounces right up against it. And that is why this is an inadequate trim tool. It's good for some things, but if I wanted to, let's say, shorten this clip and I'm using this, I would have to go like that, then I go like that, then I lasso this, then I move that to there. Oh my God, that takes so long. No need. First, come with me. We're gonna go up here to the Premiere pull down and I'm gonna go to settings. If you're on a PC, your settings will be under the file pull down at the bottom. The file pull down all the way at the bottom, not project settings, regular settings. So you get this drop down right here. We're gonna go to trim. So we're gonna start off by checking, make sure this is checked. Allow selection tool to choose roll and ripple trims without modifier key. Check that. I will explain in a bit. Then allow current selection tool to change trim type of previously selected edit point. Yes, you want that. I will explain. Hang with me. The next one under it, shift clips that overlap trim point during ripple trimming. We're going to turn that on in just a bit. Leave that unchecked for now. And then we're going to say, okay. So here we are. If you're new to Premiere or you've been editing for a while, you're self-taught on Premiere and you didn't know about these trim tools, this is the tutorial for you. And if you are migrating from Avid over to Premiere, this is going to help you a ton. So let's get to the actual tutorial. Now, you can find the trim tools over here in your tools window right there. Let me move that over. In the tools window right there. And under window at the bottom, tools. So if you don't see these, you can get them again here under your window pull down. So now, allow selection tool to choose without modifier key. If you notice now, when I get to my cut point, I have either the rolling tool, or if I move my cursor just slightly to either side, I get the ripple edit tool. The ripple edit tool is yellow. The rolling edit tool is red with 2 arrows on either side. Notice how different it is from the tool that's the default tool, which only has 1 arrow on one side, because you can only affect one side or the other. And that arrow is going to point to which side you're affecting. With the rolling tool, you've got 2 red arrows on both sides, because if I click on this cut point, I can roll this out. The blue clip gets shorter, the orange clip gets longer. Now I have L cut this video, the orange video, over the blue audio. Now I've created an L cut. I cannot do that with this tool. I would have to do that, then I would have to come over and do that. Why do that when you can just do that? Ping, done. I love it. I really, really love it. It's because I'm a nerd and I own that. I would like to point out that on your tools menu, right now we're under the selection tool, which allows me to get to either one of these tools just by slightly moving my mouse around the cut point. You can also come over here and just grab the tool straight out. Ripple edit tool, rolling edit tool. If I'm on the rolling edit tool, I'm only on the rolling edit tool. It will not change to the ripple tool, even though we have that selected in settings, because now we're on a very specific tool. It's only going to be on that tool. So now I can roll this out. I can, I guess, I say L cut, whether it's going this way or this way. And I know this is a J cut and this is an L cut, or vice versa, but I'm dyslexic, so let's just leave it at L cut for everything. So if I want to L cut the blue clip over the orange audio, I can just bring it back. If I want to L cut the orange audio, the orange video over the blue audio, I can do that. And you can do it, of course, with audio too. Now I've dragged out the audio under here and it's under that clip, or vice versa, and we can go this way, right? I also just use this tool just for like, okay, I've laid in my music. I want my music cue to, I need to be on the selection tool to start here. Now that I'm back on the selection tool, you notice I get the yellow tool as well as the red tool, yellow and red. Here, I'm coming over here, grabbing it, red tool. I don't want the yellow tool. I want the red tool. That's what we're talking about right now. I can drag my music out from under. Boom. And I know, right? I can drag my music out from under with that old tool that you guys have been using. But why not just use the one tool that comes up fast? If you want to use this tool again, let's say you're like, I want to create a little space here, a little blank space. I want this to go to black, and then I want this to dissolve up. I'm going to click on that cut point. I'm going to hit my transition, which you can also get to by right-clicking and saying apply default transition. But mine, which was come as no surprise to anybody, is mapped on my keyboard. And I just hit one button and it adds my default transition. In order to do that, using this red tool so that I can pull it away from the other clip and create a little blank space in order to then add my transitions and fade down and fade up, then yes, absolutely, use this default trim tool. Other than that, I do not really use that trim tool at all because the other trim tools do everything I need. So we've done the rolling tool. I'm rolling one clip longer while the other clip rolls shorter. Now let's do the ripple tool. If you're coming from Avid and you're learning Premiere, the red and the yellow should be familiar to you. Think of it just like insert is yellow in Avid, splice in, and red is overwrite. These are using those same colors because they're similar functions, right? My red tool is overwriting the blue here. When we do the yellow ripple tool, when I click one side, it's only on one side, right? Just like my red tool, the yellow tool has one arrow pointing one direction. So whichever direction that arrow is pointing, that's the clip that I'm going to be affecting. It's pointing this way, so I'm going to affect that clip and pull it out. And it opens a hole. It's rippling the clip. It's rippling the timeline. That's the way they're thinking of it, instead of rolling on top of something. So it's more of an insert function, right? And remember, also in Avid, the segment modes are also red and yellow because they perform functions that are similar to insert and overwrite. So all of those, this should be very familiar to you. This is one way an Avid editor can learn these faster and just get it into muscle memory so much faster. So notice with the yellow, I'm pushing this away or I'm pulling it back. I'm pushing this away. Now I'm lengthening the video shortening this, opening up a clip. Then I can use the rolling tool to bring it back. Or, of course, I can always, if I want to ripple both of these out at the same time, I could click one and then shift click the one underneath. So I've shift clicked that on. Or I could lasso this clip and then click on one and both of them light up. And then I can pull them both out and you can see them both moving. It's getting shorter, it's getting longer, right? If I just do one though, it's a little bit better visual so you can get the idea of what's happening. So that's a ripple tool. I use that all the time. Let's say I wanted to start this clip like a few frames earlier, but I cut it off accidentally when I edited this into my timeline, I can select this, do the ripple tool so it's yellow, go -5 on my extended keyboard and add 5 frames. I can go -1 whole second and add 1 whole second, right? Or I can drag it out. I like to use the keypad when I can. If you have an extended keyboard, if you don't have an extended keyboard, ignore, because hitting plus or minus with the numbers at the top will not, I don't think, will function the same way. Notice if I have the red tool selected, but I meant to select the yellow, I can just click the yellow and it changes to the yellow, right? You can do that all the way down. So you don't have to deselect and then reselect, right? So if I select it once, I don't have to deselect to get to the red. I can just click over it and it changes to the yellow. And that is because, if you remember, in our settings under trim, we selected this box, allow current tool to change trim type of previously selected edit point. So you've got the rolling edit tool, you've got, which is red, the ripple edit tool there. They do different functions. This is, notice, opening up a space here because I'm rippling it out and I didn't choose both. So it's opened up a hole there. Maybe that's what I want. Maybe I want silence with music. Let me run the music all the way down. Maybe I want this to be silent with music as it starts, and then it comes up right there. Or maybe I need to L-cut this. So now this goes here, and it hangs with just music, and then this picks up with just music. This is my music track. And then he starts talking, right? So that would be one way to accomplish that. One of the things it's really good for also, especially the ripple edit tool, is when you're doing a cut on action and you're just a couple frames off on that cut on action, you can go to the ripple tool and just pull out a couple frames to just get that action to be more fluid. You want it to look like it's just effortlessly moving. Easy for you to say. And then I use that for this. I use it for all sorts of things all the time. Now, if I want to, here's my music. If I use the rolling edit tool, it doesn't affect the music at all. If I use the ripple edit tool, it's not affecting the music at all either. Let's say I want these two to ripple, but let me just duplicate this. I'm going to select it all, hold down Option or Alt if you're on a PC, and duplicate that. Let's say this is all different stuff. I mean, we know it's not all different stuff because the dupe detection's on, but let's say this is all different stuff and it's down the pipeline. Watch what happens to the stuff that's not connected here to this when I do the ripple tool. It's pushing all of that as well. It's pushing everything down the line, but it's not affecting this music. If I also want to make sure that this part of the music stays with this part of the clip for whatever reason, we can come up here to Settings, to Trim, and now select this. Shift clips that overlap by trim point during ripple trimming. Say OK. Then we come down here. Now look what happens when I do a ripple trim. Now it breaks a hole in this, so this music stays with this. This is more useful to me as a function when I have a piece of video and I've got, like, let's say a sound effect underneath that I want it to stay with it. I like that it broke up this. I don't mind that it split my music. And if you are coming from Avid and learning Premiere, checking that box is going to make this function exactly as you expect it to function when you click in trim one window or the other window and you've just got one roller. It's going to function exactly like that. So if you're coming from Avid, you want that box checked. Absolutely, 100%. Make sure that you have shift clips that overlap during ripple trim selected. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna roll this out and then roll that over, right? I'm gonna undo that so you can see it again. I'm gonna roll this over to here and then I'm gonna roll it to there. Or I'm gonna use extend. If you don't know extend, watch my video on extend. It's gonna make your life 37% better by conservative estimate. But I could also do this. I can click my rolling edit here and hit E. Then it stops there. I hit E again. There you go. E for extend. Now I've extended it straight across. E is the default position on your keyboard for where the extend function is. That's where Premiere puts it. I didn't map it there myself. Click here. E, done. Fixed my music. So I leave that one thing all on all the time because sometimes it's super useful for me to do a ripple trim and break a hole. So now look, I only grabbed the audio. I didn't grab the video. And I did this. And it broke that up top and it broke that in the bottom. Everything stayed in sync here and great. All worked great as expected. Now, if I don't have that turned on, right? Like if that's not selected and I want to ripple trim the music with it. Let's say it's not music. Let's say it's a sound effect that I want to break a hole right here in because I want this. I've timed this. This is exactly perfect from here to here. If I want everything to trim together, I can add an edit straight through there, or I could go to the blade tool and go click and click, right? If you don't have add edit mapped to your keyboard, I could use the blade tool. Now that I've cut this, I can come up here and do that and it'll take it with it because I cut it. Or I could click here, I could select all three of these and then get to my yellow tool and click once and notice it added it all to the whole thing because I lassoed these together. Then I go to my trim tool and I select it. Now it pulls everything out at the same time, but you got to make a cut point. You got to make a cut point on it. For me, and this is by no means, I'm not saying everybody needs to do this. For me, I like to leave that on because I came from Avid to begin with originally. And I like it to function like Avid. And then I would click here, open that up, and then I would click here and shift click there, hit E and fix it. Those are the trim tools. I can drag this out with the yellow arrow. It pushes everything down the pipeline, right? Just by dragging it with the yellow ripple. It'll ripple everything down the pipeline with it, right? Red will not. Red's gonna overwrite everything. It's gonna roll over everything. I get to that cut point, but I can still roll past it. Now I've completely taken away that video. I've rolled over that video entirely. With the tool that you guys are using all the time, I can only go as far as the next clip. Boom, boom. It just knocks its head into it. It will not roll over it. Even if I stop, pick it up, and try again, it will not do it. You need the rolling tool you need the rolling tool. So that's the difference between ripple and roll tools. So there you go. That's the whole enchilada on the trim tools. If you are learning Premiere and you want to do a deeper dive with me, I've left a link below to my 3-hour deep dive, and we can one-on-one go over some stuff that may be vexing you on Premiere. If you're just learning editing and you're looking for a career in editing, I've left a link below also for the 6-month mentorship program. Check that out as well. Don't forget to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button for more videos on this kind of editing tutorial content, and I'll see you in the next video.